Today was supposed to be a cooler day. Cloudy, no sun, so I got excited and took some meat out of the freezer. What do you know? It's a million degrees outside, and I'm stuck with this meat and my plan for the dinner tonight. So I'm gonna have to suck it up and use the oven. Summer, right? Tonight I want to have something comforting, and for me it's meatloaf. And you can make it literally hundreds of different ways. So this is my grandmother's recipe. It's so good, and it surprises me to this day because it has one thing in it that I absolutely hate: green peppers. I know, it's very strange, but if I can learn to love this meatloaf with something that I hate in it, it's good. So I think that you can like it too. I think we should bring meatloaf back into the present, and people need to love it because it's so good and it's easy. Lastly, I want to dedicate this video to a dear friend who loves meatloaf so much she dreams about it. You know who you are. This one's for you. We are going to start with sauteing the green pepper and onion. I only have about a half a pound of meat here, so I'll probably use half of each, diced into pretty small pieces. I can hear my dad yelling at me, saying to make sure you take out all the seeds and all of the ribs. We don't want anything left in this green pepper. How'd I do, Dad? All clean. Little baby pieces. Here we have our little pieces. We're going to saute these until they are pretty soft, not dark and crunchy, but soft. I just have some Hamburg 80/20. The good fatty stuff is always delicious. So we'll get that into a bowl. Also, I forgot, preheat your oven to 350. In this bowl we have the meat. Just going to break it up a bit, get it ready for all of the lovely things going in it. This is a good recipe to practice your alone cooking with. I have to learn how to cook for just one person, so that's why I only have about a half a pound of meat in here. To the beef, we're going to add just some salt, pepper, a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce. The recipe calls for saltines, but I don't have any, but I do have a delicious alternative, club crackers. So I'm just gonna take a few of them, crush them up. This is gonna act as your binder. I really don't use breadcrumbs in here. I just kind of throw in crackers because I think it tastes better. So you want to get them kind of fine, but it is nice to get a little bit of a cracker piece in here once in a while. So I'm gonna start with that. 1 egg, I just beat it so I didn't have to do it in the bowl. I like to throw some ketchup in here. My peppers and onion are done sauteing. They will cook some more in the oven, so I'm not too worried about them being raw, but they're pretty cooked. So these just pop on into the pan. Now that all the kids are in the pool, we'll just carefully mix it on up. Our meatloaf mixture is ready. It's all incorporated, looking disgusting as meatloaf does, but it'll change, don't worry. I just have a small little loaf pan that I have sprayed with some cooking spray, and I'm just going to lunch lady this in here. So, even layer. Now, the secret, most important, super duper delicious part. Before this goes into the oven, it needs a topping. So again, with the ketchup, and some brown sugar. Little bit of salt. Give a good mix so it's all incorporated. And at the last minute, we're going to broil this on top of the meatloaf when it's done cooking. It'll caramelize a little bit in the beginning, but the real action is at the end. Get the meatloaf and just bathe it in this sauce. This goes into the preheated 350-degree oven. I'm gonna start checking this at maybe 30-35 minutes. It's kind of thick, but it's not a lot, so we just want it to be cooked through. The question is, are you ready to hear and see something beautiful? Yes, you are. You are ready. Oven mitts on. Look at that. Can you hear it? I put it on broil for a couple of minutes when it was completely done. And that gets the top all bubbly and crunchy with that sugar and the sugar and the ketchup. Ooh! I'm going to let this cool down just for a second because it is about the temperature of the surface of the sun. It works and it's so good. So we'll just wait and then we will slice it up. The first piece is always a pain. So I try the best I can. It never looks pretty though, but I'm gonna go for it. So I like an end. Let me get my tiny spatula and see how this goes. Can you see the sides here? is all caramelized and fluffy. Wow. Look at that. There you go. Yeah, there are green peppers, but I swear it's so good. But, oof. You need to try it. It's beyond delicious. Here we go. Looks like a complete mess, and it is, but messy food is delicious. Wow. That is still too hot to eat, but I did it anyway. I'm very proud of myself. It is so delicious. Bring Meatloaf back to the table.